What's going on, and welcome back to another less than 5 minute gear review. And in this video we're going to be going over the Tasmanian Tiger Tack Pouch 11. Now this guy is going to cost you roughly around $55 to $65 depending if you can get it on sale or not. I've found these a lot on Amazon or directly from Tasmanian Tiger's website, so it is pretty easy to find. This is one of the newer versions of this pouch that I've seen. I've seen some of the older versions of it. Altogether, I think this thing is awesome. I'm actually getting the SNS Precision Plate Frame Redux, I believe is what it's called now. Kind of a simplified version of the plate frame modular, and I'm actually going to throw this on there for kind of a multi-purpose, multifunctional role, just to see how this does when it comes to running water and having hydration, as well as some other items that you may need for different mission sets. So with that, this thing is kind of comparable to the Beaver Tail, as well as the Tier Tactical version of the Beaver Tail. It is significantly smaller and a lot thinner, but it does have the ability to expand out with the tweave elastic material that's on here, so it does give you some options as far as expansion goes. You do have bottle holders on the exterior of this. You can throw some other stuff in there. It will fit a Nalgene and your small plastic bottles, so however you want to set that up and configure it for water, or if you want to run a hydration on the interior, you have that option as well. You do have a little bit of Velcro and MOLLE loops on the exterior, so if you want to add patches and or pouches, you have the options to do that. You've got your cinch straps down here at the bottom. I would resize these just a little bit. These tails are pretty long, so for me that may be one thing that I adjust and modify in the future, so that way I don't have these long tails hanging off the bottom of my plate carrier and interfering with my belt system. On the back side, you just have your standard MOLLE. You got MOLLE straps up top here, and then MOLLE straps at the bottom. This thing, even if you're running a small plate carrier, fits really, really well on the back of that, and you don't have a lot of hang off. So that's one of the big things that I really like about this, is you don't have that hang off, so you don't catch on things, you don't get stuck, you don't get in situations where you're trying to get out of vehicles or an aircraft or whatever, and then you got hung up while infilling or exfilling from a mission and all that, as well as just being on the ground and getting caught on the foliage and in the environment that you're working in. So with that, when it comes to the interior of this, you do have your center zip, so that will just open up, and then as you can see, you do have quite a bit going on the interior. You do have an elastic band or shock cord on the interior to help keep things nice and tight, so if you're going to run a bladder on the interior of this, it'll help keep that stowed and not move around and get damaged. One of the biggest things that I see with hydration bladders is they just kind of loosely fit inside of there, and they'll move around, slap around, get squashed or smashed, and they'll pop because they're just not secure inside of the pouch, where this guy does have that. So I think that is pretty cool that they've added that to there and prevented a lot of hydration bladders from breaking. So with that, you do have some MOLLE through the middle of it. You do have elastic loops on the exterior of that as well, and then you do have your little loop Velcro retainer for your hydration carrier. So as it goes for hydration bladders, I think this thing does a really, really good job of securing everything in there and then creating space for additional items if you want to throw that in there. So as you can see, you loosen those straps up, or that shock cord up on the exterior, open it up, and you're going to see like this thing gets pretty wide, and it doesn't take much to open it up. You just kind of pop it open like so, and this thing will open up to where you can have hydration, snacks, a meal, cold weather gear if you want to have an extra jacket inside of this that just kind of compresses down real small, and then you can run all sorts of other mission essential equipment inside of this thing. So I just bought this. I am really excited to use it, so I will be doing future videos with it and how it pans out when it comes to being in training scenarios and all of that. So definitely stick around. I'll definitely post those videos in the future, as well as some videos where you can see this thing in action. When it comes to the zipper, like all zippers that I usually do, I add heat shrink on it just so that way it gives it a little bit better dexterity, makes it easier to grab that zipper, pull it open, pull it closed, whether you're wearing gloves or not wearing gloves. So with that, I highly recommend it. Right out of the box, I think this thing is awesome. It's very well constructed. So with that, if you have any questions, please feel free, leave a comment We'll answer any questions that you have. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.